I'm gonna tell you why I bought this, and I'm hoping that it resonates with you. I have me, I have my husband, I have my 4-year-old, and I have my dog. I would pay any amount of money to feel safer, to know if there's ever any fire or incident going on in my home, I'm able to be alerted. But the reason I bought this was because I had no idea what was going on with the smoke alarms in my home. I had no idea how old they were. We bought the house, we never changed them out. Do they even have batteries in them? I had no idea. And instead of trying to track down this information, today was the day that I made this purchase, and I knew from this day, for 10 years, I have peace of mind that my family is going to be protected, to be able to have that, you know, anytime anything happens. Now, why would I buy these? First off, it's a 3-pack. So at my house, we put one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom, one in the hallway closest to the baby's room. It's from Samurai. You're like, these little things? Exactly. It's 2024. It is a small footprint. It is an easy installation. This is why almost 500,000 of these have been sold, and why these are normally $30 a piece. But because we know it's so important to get these into your hands, to get these into your home, this 3-pack is now $18 a piece for $54.99. They have 2024 technology that's called photoelectric sensor technology. Because what's the old ones do? A little bit of steam from the shower, from cooking, you had all these false alarms, and then it becomes white noise to you, right? This is gonna be able to cut down those false alarms. There's that installation, so super easy. 10-year battery life right out of the gate. Joe Harrison's here. We're gonna talk about this. There's that easy installation. Joe, you remember the day that I bought mine?
I do, yeah. So many of us have, yeah.
We had been in my home for going on 5 years, and I had zero clue. I didn't know. I was looking at you and you were talking and I go, I don't know either.
Well, that's a lot of,
I don't know.
You move into a new house, a new apartment, you move into a new condo, and you don't know. You see the smoke detectors there and you're like, that seems safe, but when did they get installed? And what happens is the U.S. Fire Administration, FEMA, says that you need to replace your smoke detector every 10 years. Doesn't matter what the brand is, doesn't matter what type it is, but after 10 years, it starts to lose its efficiency. So where you're sitting today, do you know, you see that smoke detector's there, do you know when it was installed? Like for me, my issue was we bought this house that had 1980 construction, and when we moved in 2004, it had the original smoke detectors well beyond its life. We had an issue at the house. There's a wire that's burning in the wall. My wife could smell it. My smoke detector could not because it was too old. Because what happens is they start to collect dust and dander and debris in the air, and that debris starts to really cloud over the sensor. Sensor doesn't work anymore. It loses its efficiency. But this, when you switch it over today, like Tina mentioned, this is 10 years worth of peace of mind. Your alternative to buying this is that you buy one of these guys. And now this is 1970s technology. This is what they call an ion sensor. And it's big and bulky because that's how the sensor was made in the 70s, haven't made any progression. So when you see this, the new Samurai, you're like, well, this is smaller. It looks different because 100% it is different. This sensor was designed in the 70s. This sensor was designed less than 8 years ago. It is the latest generation of smoke detectors. But with this design, you always see this little door here. You pop out the battery. Every 6 months, you're supposed to change out that battery. How many times do we forget it? Or at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you're just trying to get a good night's sleep, and the alarm goes off because the battery's dead. Then you take the battery out, and you're like, I'll replace it tomorrow. Then tomorrow turns into next week. Then it turns into next month. Before you know it, you have a smoke detector with no battery. With this one, when it arrives at your house, the battery's already going to be built inside of it. There's going to be a little plastic tab. You pull that plastic tab, and that starts day one. We even give you a sticker on there to write down the day it was installed, because those 10 years, you'll forget when you installed it, but it's nice to know that it's right there. And now, every 6 months, you don't have to change the battery. You just enjoy your life, you live your life, and then this sensor is going to go off and give you a loud 85 decibel sound when something goes on. Now, every 6 months, instead of changing the battery, they recommend you hold down that test button that's right there. And I'll do it, and you'll hear that alarm, that loud, sweeping, 85 decibel sound. That's going to be able to heard from the other side of the house if this is in the front room to the back room, or your kids are sleeping and it's in the other room. But the other thing too about having such a loud alarm is when you hear this alarm go off with this new type of sensor, it only gives you the true alerts. With this one, like Tina mentioned, you take a hot shower and this alarm will go off. And what do? You get a towel and you blow the air around there because that will diffuse it. With this, when you hear that alarm go off, it knows the difference between steam from a shower and actually fire in your home. So Tina, you get less false alarms. It gives you more security, and it really is the easiest way to be protected for the next decade.
And I always talk about this with a lot of people. When I built a human in my belly, something chemically changed in my brain.
Right.
I know it's like a nature thing, right?
Sure.
Like all of a sudden, the worst case scenario of anything that could happen to your child, it like runs through your brain all day long. It's super exhausting. But when you were talking the day that I bought mine, you were talking about it. And I was looking at you and I was thinking, what amount of money? I don't even know why that was gonna make me upset.
Yeah.
What amount of money would I give somebody if something bad were happening to gain those moments that I could get everybody out? And when you were talking, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not just purchasing this, right? Because once it's too late, it's too late. When it's happening to you and you're like, I wish I had gotten something. I wish we knew earlier. I wish we could get out. I wish, it is such an easy purchase, and this is why we do what we do here at HSN. These are normally $30 a piece, well worth $30 a piece. Think about it, $30, 10 years of being like, I know we have a smoke alarm that's working. Latest technology, easy install. We got it down to $18 a smoke alarm. We're even gonna ship it to you for free. This is what I'm saying. And I know we talk a lot about fires during Christmas time because of candles and lights and everything. But it's any day.
Oh, absolutely, year round, 100%.
Any day something could happen. And I don't get like this, you know, I'm jokey and haha. But I'll tell you that mommy brain of mine, I bought mine, okay, came in, ding dong, there was HSN box. I opened it up and I told my husband, I go, put these places. He goes, what are these? I said, they're smoke alarms. I said, they're 10-year battery life. And he goes, what a good idea.
It's a great idea.
I think you see the presentation and you go, if I forget to buy it right now, will I? Just do it now. You're thinking about it, put it in your cart, do exactly what I did.
Right, and it really makes sense because when you think about your house right now, if you just look around and say, how many smoke detectors do I really have in my house? Do you know that the code, if you build a house today in 2024, according to FEMA, you're supposed to have a smoke detector in every bedroom of your home. Can you say you have that? If not, you need to get one of these. You're also supposed to have one in every major living space in your home. Can you say you have that? If not, it's time to get one of these as well. You're also supposed to have one in every hallway leading through the sleeping area, leading through those major spaces. If you don't have that, it's time to get these today. And the code, if you have this original design, the code back in the 1970s when this came out was one smoke detector for the entire home.
Was it because the homes were smaller back then, or what? No,
that's just all they believed. Like, you know, as testing progressed and things happened, they determined, okay, it changed from one smoke detector to every home to one smoke detector to every level of the house. And now, as it progresses, we need a smoke detector in every bedroom in the house. And when you start thinking about it, you know, when you have power, when you have the issues like that, how many devices do we have in our house that get plugged in? Now we're talking phones and tablets and TVs. You know, bedrooms today look different than they did, 30 years ago. But then it's also the other appliances too. A lot of things that cause fires are when electrical wires just get too hot, they get overloaded. Now it's hair dryers, curling irons, all these different things, space heaters that generate a lot of air. So if you have this 1970s technology, hopefully your house wasn't built in the 70s and you have more than one. But the easiest way to get yourself up to code is to make sure you have one in every single bedroom, every living area, and also in every major hallway. Now to install this, Samurai has made this super easy for you. We give you two different options. If you have a screwdriver, no problem. What happens is it comes off as two different pieces. So this is just the mount plate right there. We have a screws that you can mount this to any wall. Now you want to mount this is the key, 12 inches to the closest highest point in the ceiling. Don't put this down low. Don't put this on a shelf. It needs to be 12 inches from the ceiling. If it's down low, it doesn't detect that smoke. It's got to be 12 inches from the ceiling or even just mount it to the ceiling. So if you have a screwdriver, great. If not, we give you special 3M adhesive tape. And this tape is specifically designed to withstand heat, and it will stay on your wall for 10 years. There are some smoke detectors we have mounted here in the HSN studio from 4 years ago that are still there, that are still mounted there, because when you put that tape on there, it will stay there for 10 years. It's designed, chemically tested to make sure it's going to be there. So the install is super easy. Now, the only thing you have to do after that is just live your life and then test it every 6 months. You hold down that test button right there and you hear that loud 85 decibel sound. It is ear-piercing, but it's also sweeping. It has a low note and a high note because sometimes we hear different levels within our own ears, so that way it's gonna wake everybody up. Now, the only other purchase I recommend today is that we are covering you with the smoke detector. We talked about how important that is. Carbon monoxide detector is also such an important thing for your house because carbon monoxide is quickly going up that list of why people are calling 911. With carbon monoxide, you can't see it, can't taste it, can't smell it. You don't know you have carbon monoxide poisoning until unfortunately you fall asleep and then you don't end up waking up. We have a great 2-pack of carbon monoxide detectors.
And that's on sale too.
On sale, 10-year battery, exact same install that we talked about. Everything is the same except it's designed to detect a carbon monoxide. And what creates carbon monoxide is anything that burns. You're talking space heaters, ovens, your AC units, your ranges, all these different devices, your cars, your vehicles. These things create carbon monoxide. If you don't have a ventilated house, Tina, bad things happen. So it's a great way to update your house. Get a smoke detector for the house, but also carbon monoxide detector. And by the way, the carbon monoxide, you need one for every level of your home or every 750 square feet.
So 2-pack, 3-pack, and why do you have a bowl of batteries?
Oh, I forgot about the bowl batteries because man, this is like a pain point. If you have a traditional smoke detector, you're supposed to change the batteries every 6 months. And those batteries, they get expensive. So if we had 3 of these smoke detectors, just like we're giving you a 3-pack today, this is what 10 years worth of batteries would look like. It cost me $97 to put into old 1970s technology. It's actually cheaper to buy the Samurai.
It like pays for itself.
It pays for itself, absolutely, with that 10-year battery that's already installed.
So if you're thinking, you know what, back in November, I do remember taking the battery out one night and then I totally forgot about it. Don't go buy a new battery.
Nope.
Just buy a new smoke detector. Get that 10 years. It's a 3-pack. This is a $90 set on sale for $54.99, which gets it down to $18 each. Free shipping. Please be just like I was, which I was like, why would I not get this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you made that weird mommy gut feeling.
Oh yeah, parents, you feel that 100%. Gotta protect those kids.
It is. You think of like the worst case scenario all the time. It's crazy. I was like, nobody warned me about this.
Hands and it all starts with
I know. My husband goes, relax. I go, I can't.
You can't.
I gotta think about it all the time.